Khufu's Pyramid, Chapter 4, Section 3. Essential question. How did the pharaoh Khufu proclaim his glory? Monuments to the kings. As you can remember when we studied Mesopotamia, the Sumerians, around the same time as the Egyptians, put a lot of energy into making big buildings. The pyramids are one of the most impressive monuments of the ancient world, and you can actually still visit them today. Now, the first rulers in Egypt were buried in tombs and they were underground, and at first they were just kind of topped with mud bricks. As time went on, the next kings and the next pharaohs wanted something more. They wanted something better. And they wanted something that would be permanent and would be a monument. So when people traveled through their land, they would know how great that they were. This evolution leads to the construction of the pyramid. And a pyramid is a structure shaped like a triangle that has four sides, and those four sides meet at a point. Now here is the inside of a pyramid, and it has several different shafts. It has the king's chamber, it has the queen's chamber, it has the entrance, it has an escape tunnel from here to here. A lot of these also have kind of fake shafts for grave robbers, so they would actually get lost. Now the stepped pyramid was the first form of a pyramid, and it was built by King Dozier, and he wanted a pyramid over his tomb. But the first pyramids were actually stepped because the architects couldn't figure out how to make them flat, so they had this stepped look to them. This was before the pyramids at Giza, obviously, with the flat sides. And we're gonna watch a short little video on the stepped pyramids. And this just describes the process, how it was built in four separate stages. Okay, so 80 years after King Dozier came the pharaoh named Khufu, and he constructed the largest pyramid ever built. The base was 760 feet long. And the miners that worked on this, they used copper saws to cut through the blocks of stone, and this would be slow because copper is soft. They didn't have iron back then. They would bring these huge blocks of stones that would weigh tons, and they would drag them up ramps to fit them into place. And how they figured out how to go from a stepped pyramid to a flat-sided pyramid was basically just to have stone and then to cut and smooth other stone and place it on top of them.
One of the great themes of human history is we accumulate power that's almost godlike. And one of the first things we set out to do when we're able to pull together a massive workforce is to literally change the landscape, literally build mountains.
A pyramid is a simple thing on its face. It's a tomb. But this was meant to be a building that channeled and captured and encapsulated light. It was meant to be the sunlight in stone. The pyramid as we see it has steps in it. Many, many hundreds, if not thousands of steps as it goes all the way to the top. But those steps would have been filled in, and you would have had smooth sides. And those sides were filled in with the finest, whitest limestone that Egypt had. This fine white casing reflects the light and was meant to actually encapsulate sunlight and turn the king into the sun god himself. The amount of organization administratively the amount of labor that you had to extract from your own population. Slaves didn't build the pyramids, their own people built the pyramids.
The logistical ability to do this, you have to think about cutting stone and how much you're going to need. In this case, over 2 million blocks of stone, and they're not all shaped the same size.
In order to build the pyramids successfully, we had to have a firm foundation in understanding mathematics.
When we look at how almost perfectly square the base is, the angles are almost absolutely 90 degrees.
There is the ratio of the sides and the alignment, particularly, of the pyramids with regard to the stars.
This structure was off of magnetic north by just a small margin. And it's extraordinary that they were able to do that. They probably used the stars to help them do that, but we don't know the exact method. There is still a great deal of disagreement amongst Egyptologists about how the pyramids were actually constructed. The pyramid is a testament to the ability of people to channel great and vast resources for one particular reason.
When our species is able to construct something like the pyramids, to look at that, I think gives us a sense of the potential for our future. That it is in our capacity to become like the gods.
All right, so who built the pyramids? Was it slaves? Was it cheap workers? Was it the people from this area? There is a lot of debate on who actually built them. We do know a couple things. We know that farmers would haul the stones when the Niles flooded their fields. This was a way to transport the stone. Overseers worked year-round. These would be the people who were overlooking the whole entire project. It took 20 years to build, over 20,000 workers, and Giza, the city, was made for the pyramid workers and the people who took care of them, the people who fed and clothed them. All right, we're done with this section. Please do not forget to answer the quiz questions on this tutorial. Thank you.